What up, my people? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome, bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy en Día TV. I am your host and producer, Yessi Rodriguez, bringing on to the stage my two amazing co-hosts, Nadine and Cece. Welcome.
Woohoo! Welcome. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Feliz Jueves. How's it going, lovelies? I haven't seen you all in a week. I've heard and seen you all.
Right.
How's everybody doing? Nadine, let's start with you. How are you doing?
It is amazing. I'm just happy that I'm nice, dry, and safe in my house. I'm not locked out anymore. Thank you, Jesus.
Locked out? What do you mean? What happened there, ma'am? Fill us in. ¿Cuál es el jugo? What's the juice here? What happened?
Remember when I told you last week that we had like a bad storm in my area and I got locked out of my house? That was a funny story. Ask me how I got locked out, right? So
yeah, I want to know. Come on now. I'm sitting here at the edge of my seat, ma'am.
I know, right? You know, I had like extra security lock on the inside of my house. So my front door, if it's locked from the inside, you cannot get in no matter how hard you try. So when the storm went out and I came home from one of my book signings, child, I was stuck outside for 5.5 hours until the power came back on. But, you know, things happen.
I am so sorry to hear that. Oh,
see, my house is locked down like Fort Knox.
okay, good security. That's great. But I'm sorry to hear that. So if that happens again, hopefully it doesn't happen again. Let me say that first.
It won't happen again. I won't leave that extra security lock on, so I'm good. If it's not on from the inside, I'll be able, even though, you know, if there's no power, I could still get in with the keypad. But I learned my lesson.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're safe and sound. It all worked out. I'm sorry that you were out for 5 hours, you said? Oof. Yeah, that's a long time. Okay,
Wow.
well.
How about you? How are you guys doing? And plus, it's storming here again today. I'm like, where's all this rain coming from? Like, April showers should be gone a long time ago. But then again, it is June. It's supposed to be hurricane season, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's probably what's happening is we're entering and transitioning into hurricane season. But before I say how I am, let's ask Cece how she's doing because I know she has some exciting news on her end.
Hello. Happy Jueves. Like you say, Feliz. Is it Feliz Jueves? You know, I'm still working on my Duolingo, right? So yes, me and Duo are best friends. But yes, doing really, really good on the road. That's why you guys cannot see my lovely face today. But, you know, we make it happen here on Hoy en Dia TV. So happy to be with you all. Yeah, exciting news. I'm actually heading to Florida because I graduate tomorrow. Yes. And I am officially a doctor. Woohoo.
Yes,
lots
Dr.
of hard work.
Dilly.
Yes, Dr. Dilly. Yes. So God has been so amazing, so faithful. It's been a long journey, praise God. But we pushed. You know, you get 8 years to kind of do this thing, but I was like, I'm going to stay in it. And I pushed, like I accelerated. So I did it in 3. So God's amazing. He's just so amazing just to kind of hold your girl down and everything. So life is lovely. Now I can kick back, relax a little bit, you know, just a little bit, you know.
Listen, so Cece's a go-getter, man. Let me tell you, Cece must have 2 associates, 2 bachelors, 2 masters, and she just got her PhD, but I'm sure she's gonna go ahead and get another one, right, sis?
No, ma'am. I only have 1 master's, 1 bachelor's, and not a PhD.
I thought you had 2 masters, sis.
No, 1. MBA, master's in business.
Well, I can't wait to come and celebrate you tomorrow, honey.
Yes, cannot wait.
You're going to join her, Nadine?
Yes, I'm going to the graduation.
That is so nice. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, look at that. To God be the glory. Yes.
And our other friend, Ruby, she's here from Texas, too. So we will be taking a road trip to Jax to go see my girl.
Hey, Ruby. Yeah, I see her there in the chat. Woohoo.
Yes, awesome. Well, as for me, you know, I've been doing great as well, pushing forward. Last week we were a group of us got together. We were able to film, so a lot of cool, amazing projects coming up. So you will have to just tune in to my pages, follow me. on social media, and or even Google me, and you can keep up to date. I'm going to leave you in suspense. I'm not going to give you too many details because I want you to purposely go out and see what's going on in my world. So yes, but I will say beautiful things. God is awesome, amazing. Um, oh, it looks like Ruby said, "Hey, Dr. Dilly." Oh.
Yes, that sounds good, huh, Dr. Dilly? Hello.
Dr. Ciandra. I think I'm gonna go with that. Dr. Ciandra. Yes, yes.
Beautiful. I love how that sounds. Absolutely. Well, I am super proud of you. That is truly amazing. Congratulations again, Cece. Beautiful
Thank you,
accomplishment.
sis. Thank you.
And hopefully, whenever you get a chance, you and I can meet up and then we can celebrate too, whether it be for dinner or somewhere. And then
Absolutely,
Nadine is able.
100%. That'll be awesome. We'll make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. Well, as we know, a lot has happened in a week, and so yeah, let's talk about some of these trending topics. So to start off, I will say, as a reminder, this month is actually Men's Health Month. So I'm not sure if you all were aware of that, but that is important. Not only is it Father's Day, which is quickly coming around and knocking at the door. So if you haven't had a chance to buy a gift for papi or for abuelo or for a tío or for even your husband, I would say, maybe it's time for you to go and hit store or maybe Amazon or something, right? But if you don't feel like that's a need because they probably have everything under the sun, think of something creative. Nadine or Cece, what would be some like thoughtful gifts that you would recommend? Like, let's say if there's a person that has everything already, like what would you share with the audience? Like, would be a thoughtful gift. I would say take them out to dinner. That would be one of the things I would do. How about
Yeah,
you?
one of the cool gifts that what my husband did for me and also like for our kiddos is he made videos just kind of chronicling our life, and like those highlight moments and stuff. And we were all able to kind of sit together as a family and watch them and just seeing the boys, from being babies until like, now this young youth and then even like our adult son. It was so special. And he just did an amazing job. So I definitely want to, kind of follow his reins and do the same thing, right? And just kind of showcase and highlight with all those things. And nowadays it's so easy, to kind of do it because there's a lot of, stuff that's already kind of, templates and stuff. You can kind of just put in your pictures and it'll get the music for you and all that stuff. But just to be able to watch it as a family and be like, oh, remember when? And then you
Creating
begin to have
memories.
conversation and stories and it's just beautiful. Yes, the memories. That's it.
I love that. That's a great idea. Absolutely. Good idea. How about you, Nadine?
Well, I mean, if for somebody that doesn't have anything, I think, and well, for Cece's example, that's perfect because of this family dynamic. But you're talking about as far as for somebody that you don't know, or just in general.
I would say so. In my experience, usually, like for me, I'm a very giving person, so I know my partner has like a lot of things because I just throughout the year I gift. That's just me. And so when it comes up to Father's Day or Christmas or birthday, I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta be creative again. But because so for people in similar shoes like mine, where they're like, okay, well, I've already given. They already have this. They already have that. They already have that and that and that and that and that. What else is there good?
Right, because for example, for instance, Father's Day, typical, everybody's gonna get like, regular every year, like how many times am I gonna get like a tie or a cologne? I mean, you got to think outside the box. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, flowers, some people they don't like flowers because they're like, oh, it fades. They get faded really quickly, so not any lasting memories. But your easiest go-to is always going to be like the tie, the flowers. Some people get jewelry. So I mean, but if you could do something different, create, coming out and creating something outside the box, you could do that. But I don't know. Maybe I'd have to get caught up in the moment, but I can't even think right off the top of my
You
head
know,
right now.
I think what another really good gift is, and even for people to elevate ourselves, because all of this materialistic stuff is fine and well and good. But what about like stock
Mhm.
options? Like, let me buy you a stock. That's like for birthdays and things like that. I'm like, let me put you on to something, especially if maybe I can't afford the entire stock, but I can get a fractional share. You see what I'm saying? So you can start people off in ways like that. So I think like those types of gifts, like I think those are just, because they can last kind of forever, you know, just depending on the market and whatnot. So yeah, some stock options.
Listen, sis. Look, everybody that's listening, my birthday's in December, so I don't want any perfume. I have enough. I don't have shoes. Just get me some stocks, okay? Stocks. That's all I want. Stocks.
That's right. That's right. That's what I'm saying for my little cousins and my family, my friends. I'm getting them stock. What is baby gonna get? We getting them some stock options. Because you know, a lot of times the parents, you know, a lot of parents, they're not doing that. You know, but I'm like, we can do these things and begin to like set these things up for them. So absolutely, like getting them some credit started and so on and so forth. You know, right now my son is benefiting from our credit because we put him on, you know, our cards and our different accounts and things like that. And so right now, glory is for him, okay? As a young 21-year-old male, you know, this is the gift that continues to give. You see what I'm saying? Set people up for success. So we'll be giving you some stock options, sis. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, basically ask them what their goals are and if you could help, like, you know, not full 100%, but help them start. Depends on what the situation is, then we could do that too. I like again, I said, you know, like Cece, you know, coming up with a lot of different ideas, just thinking outside the box with the, you know, instead of doing the regular cologne, perfume, flowers, you know, do something different.
And Nadine, you know, you just said something really amazing because you said, you know, helping them with their goals. That's something because then you begin to build the relationships. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, hey, I'm gonna come on board with you for this Father's Day, Mother's Day, birthday. What's the goal that you're trying to achieve? And then when now we're intentional, right, about moving forward with them. And it may take some time, but at least you're actively on board to help them achieve those goals. So I think that those are the gifts that keep on giving. Those are the gifts always remember. You're building the memories and you're strengthening the relationships.
Yes, and I echo both of your words. Beautiful, genius ideas, absolutely. I mean, hey, you can't go wrong with thinking outside the box, and these two lovely ladies gave you some really good examples to think about. So come on now, let's start thinking differently, right? Transitioning our frame of mind to think bigger. The gift that keeps giving, like CC just said. So yes, I would say another thing that would be fun, but it's kind of like a hit or miss. But I come a lot across like news articles, or whether it be on Newsbreak or on social media, where somebody's winning the lottery. So scratch offs. I mean, hey, can you know, it's one of those things where it's like maybe buy somebody like $5 scratch offs or $10 scratch offs, and one of those you're gonna get some money. You're gonna get some dinero, you know. So
Exactly. Like I bought a scratch off one time for $5. I think that was like within the last 4 months, and I won $500, $5 at Publix.
scratch offs. See, food for thought, right there. Food for thought. Yes, these are all amazing ideas. So let's pivot over. So I'm not sure if you all heard what happened today. This is hot off the press. It literally happened a few hours ago with California Senator Alex Padilla, who was forcibly removed and handcuffed during a press conference in LA held by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. So what happened? Padilla was interrupted Noem's remarks to question federal immigration raids and the deployment of federal forces in the LA. So despite stating his name, his role, agents, they continued to just be forceful against him. And there's actually video. So when you all have a moment, catch that video. CNN has some really good footage. It's pretty it's rough to see. Like I got really emotional, really teary-eyed, just to see where our government, our world, our society has really gone to. Is heartbreaking. So I'm not sure if either of you have had a chance to see it or hear about it, but I just want to kind of get your thoughts on what you think about that.
I didn't see it. What happened, Yesy?
Well, that's what happened. So the senator interrupted the Homeland Security Secretary during her speech, and it was inside of a federal building, which, according to CNN, from what I saw from the video, there's security clearances that you have to go through. So people knew who this person was. People knew who Senator Padilla was, but because he was during her speech, he interrupted her, and her security team forcibly removed him and even handcuffed him, threw him to the floor. Like it was a big fiasco, a big to do, and it was very unnecessary. And he's a California senator. So can you imagine if they do this to a California senator? I mean, come on now. That's
That's
to me,
wild.
I was speechless. I was boggled, and so yeah, it's really we just got to pray for our society, for our world, and pray that really God helps us and helps people like understand really what's happening and aligning with God's plan because things got to change for the better.
So they did not know who he
You
was.
know,
They
it's
just assumed it was somebody out of the crowd. I mean, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around this situation.
No, they knew who he was because it was a federal building. There's security clearances that need to go. They need to pass. And so without security clearance, you're not going to get inside of the federal building. So they knew who he was. Yep. What were
Wow.
you going to say, Cece?
Yeah, I want to know like more of the story because with all the different news outlets and things like that, there's always two sides and there's the truth, right? So it'd be really kind of interesting to kind of see all the other things that really kind of took place. But yeah, they absolutely knew who he was. I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like this is the Secretary of State for crying out loud. So they definitely knew who he was. But it's something that we do have to pray for. My son, he was actually talking to my youngest one the other day, and he said that, did you know that Texas was once Mexico? And he was like, that was interesting that they're trying to push all of the illegal immigrants out of Texas, but it was really Mexico. He's like, how rude, how awful. A very good point. You see what I'm saying? So these are the types of things that's going on in our world. And it's like, I don't understand that you can't open your borders to, everybody can't, because things will be overrun, everything will be populated and things of that nature. But I also have a different take as well, as like saying this is God's green earth. You know what I'm saying? And so people should choose or be able to, you know what I'm saying, to live where they desire and things of that nature and stuff like that. But yeah, everything now is just, it's a crap show, for lack of better words.
Yeah, I agree. And I personally know individuals who are scared to go out of the house, go to school, do anything. And so a lot of people are scared, even if they are legal here, they're like, people might think I'm so and so, so it's interesting. It's I'm lost for words. Like I'm just flabbergasted and just yeah. So
Yeah,
I
it's
just
something
looked
because
at
I've
the
been hearing
video briefly and it's ridiculous. That's mind blowing.
I've
Like
been hearing
five
that people have
guys
been
are on
getting
top of
arrested
him.
at like graduations and just all these places that you would normally go, without, fear or anything, like, graduation. But they're arresting people any and everywhere that they can. And this is sad. You know what I'm saying? I understand there has to be protocols and procedures and things like that set in place, but it's all really sad because at the end of the day, we're all people. Now, for all these people that's coming into our country who are, murderers and pedophiles and all this stuff, like we don't want them here. But how many American citizens that we have here that are doing some of the same stuff? There's some of this, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, it's a hard thing. I do definitely know that God definitely has he knows, he has all the answers, and so we definitely got to continue to kind of not kind of, but we definitely have to continue to pray, right, for our nation, for our country, and for all that are here.
absolutely, absolutely. So yes, my prayers go out to those individuals affected, not only with what happened with Senator Padilla, but just the riots that are happening in LA as well with regards to this. So my thoughts and prayers go out to those families being affected. Yeah. Um, we're actually going to pivot over to introduce our guest who's been patiently waiting for us. So in honor of Men's Month here, we are excited to welcome a North Carolina-based fashion designer and producer whose bold creativity and heart for the community are making waves, both locally and nationally. Rooted in the Triangle area of Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill, this fashion designer's journey began by designing elegant pieces for his wife. That's interesting. A personal passion that quickly blossomed into his famous designs. A brand now recognized for its bold statements and refined silhouettes. So, this designer made his runway debut in 2019 at North Carolina Fashion Week, presenting 10 original looks that earned him recognition as an emerging designer. And by 2024, his Molly Gold Standard collection had taken center stage at New York Fashion Week and LA Fashion Week, firmly establishing him on the national fashion scene. His designs have dressed celebrities like Trisha Mann-Grant of BET's Family Business and CBS's Beyond the Gates, proving the versatility and appeal of his work. In 2023, this designer launched the Red and Black on the Green fashion show, which is an annual outdoor fashion experience that continues to grow in size and impact. And now it's coming in 2025. Actually, next week it's coming for its next edition. So, with this designer's amazing talents, they don't end in the runway. Through his nonprofit initiative, Suited in Success, founded in 2014, he has provided free professional and semi formal attire to over 600 men in transition. Wow. Helping them show up with confidence and purpose for life's next steps. So, whether behind the scene or on center stage, our special guest, Mark Taylor, is blending style with service, proving that fashion can be both inspiring and empowering. So, without further ado, welcome to Hoy en Día TV, our special guest, Mark Taylor, designer.
Hola, ¿qué pasa?
Hola, ¿qué pasa? Ok, estás practicando el español. Qué bueno.
Un poco.
So, how are you doing? Yeah, we're good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great. Wonderful.
That is amazing. So I read your amazing bio to our audience and listeners and my co-host, and I'm going to ask the infamous question that I always ask here at Oyandia TV. Your bio says one thing, but who do you say you really are, Mark?
I'm just a little old country boy from North Carolina that's trying to find his way, and I found a passion, and I'm living in it. So that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
So before I ask my questions, I'm going to allow the opportunity for my co-hosts to ask away. Nadine or Cece, what questions we have for Mark?
Absolutely. I wanted to know more about your
Cece, go ahead.
the Suited for Success, the nonprofit. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So the name is Suited in Success, and it's a play on Dress for Success, because when we started it back then, so the way that it started, there was a kind of a moment where I had two individuals that I was close to that needed some assistance with some professional attire. Kind of different circumstances at how they reached to that point, but I was able to assist them, and I got to thinking that I really didn't know of any services that helped men specifically with clothing. And I was familiar with Dress for Success, but to my knowledge, I just was not aware of any programs for men, specifically for men. And so that's how we got started. And so we started asking for donations, and we reached out to some organizations in the Triangle area, Step Up Ministries. We worked with Urban Ministries, NC Works, the one in Raleigh and the one in Durham, and some other organizations of Durham Tech even. And so, but there were many more. And so, let them know that, hey, this is what we do and what we're doing, and if and so they have been integral to help us identify those individuals that need assistance. So.
Phenomenal. That's beautiful. That's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. My screen just went off for a minute. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, sorry about that. Cece, are you finished?
Yeah, go for it, sis.
Okay, awesome. So yes, Mark, congratulations on your success. This is amazing, all the things that you've done. So to my understanding, right, you started with doing a piece for your wife. Take us back. How did all this started? And now tell us about your first piece.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure my wife could get tired of this story, but it's how I got started. So, well, first of all, let me say this: I'm a very crafty person, and even since I would reverse engineer things and, take it apart and then put it back together. And I always like doing kind of artsy things and so forth. And so, but at any rate, fast forward to, let's say, 2019, I'm really getting this urge to want to start making clothes. And the thought was to make clothes myself. And so I would watch YouTube videos so I'm learning from this creator, or this content creator, and so forth. And so there was a major event that my wife was going to be participating in fall. And there was a certain look that her and her friends were supposed to have. And so now we're getting close to, July, August. And, I still hadn't found anything. And the look was kind of a very specific look. So I was kind of afraid that she might not be able to find, in time. And so I said, I'm going to make her something. And so
I'm sorry, Mark, you breaking up. I don't know if it's my internet or yours.
Yeah, I'm hearing on my end too. I thought it was the same. It was also mine.
Yeah,
Mark,
it's very choppy. Like I'm hearing one or two words in between. Like it's really choppy.
Okay,
Mark,
I'm so sorry.
No, it's not your fault at all. I'm going to take you backstage. If you can, just refresh your browser and then come back on and see if that'll help. Okay. All right. Yeah, I thought it was just mine. So I was like, well, maybe it's my connection because I know sometimes it acts wonky. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's amazing that he started creating those pieces for his wife, and now he's been able to inspire and help, especially men in our community that need that type of help and support. Absolutely. So look at he's back. So let me bring him back on real quick and see if that helped.
Okay.
All right. So let's see if we can hear you. Still.
I don't know if it helps any. I'm hearing a little static when you speak.
Yeah, I hear static when you speak as well.
All right, so one moment. Let me try one last thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so that's awesome, and this aligns great with our men's month, because that's part of giving back to the community and giving back to our men that are in need, right? There's a lot of people out here that need help, some sort of support, help, and so this is a great way for Mark and his nonprofit to give back to the community. So
right,
and kudos to him for doing that. All right, so I hear you.
Any better?
It's interesting because it's crinkly. I don't know why.
Maybe it's the location where you are. I'm not sure. Like the location in the house or your office. I'm not sure where you are, but maybe it's the location. Because I know certain parts in my house, like internet is bad. Certain parts like better than the others.
Yeah, it's so.
He's frozen. He's frozen now. Like his screen is frozen.
Mark, let me take you back behind the scenes while you get that worked out. I'm not sure what's happening. That's interesting that it's happening. Okay.
Maybe a different browser may help. Maybe a different browser, like use Chrome, because I'm using Chrome on mine, so I'm not sure what he's using, but maybe it's a different browser might help.
Yeah, that could be as well. Good call out for sure. So while Mark gets everything in order with regards to video and audio, let's dive a little bit more into Men's Health Month. So it's observed in June, and the goal is to raise awareness about preventable health problems and encourage early detection and treatment of diseases that affect men and boys. And so pretty much the goal is to educate men and boys on how to improve their health, encourage regular medical checkups, screenings, and healthy lifestyle, highlight disparities in men's health outcomes, and promote health and mental health awareness, as well as reduce stigma around seeking help. And I'm glad that they're adding more focus to our men's health, because I've come across a good amount of men just from growing up, and I remember like in school and stuff, where I feel like men felt like they needed to be tougher, like, no, I don't need that, like, why, you know? So I'm really glad that they are shifting the focus now and really highlighting to say, hey, like, it's okay. You're human
Yeah.
just like we are, you know, regardless of gender, you still need to check yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you know? So what are your all thoughts about that?
Yeah, like this is a great topic because especially you say, this is Men's Health Month, and of course Father's Day is coming up. So a lot of these things, number one, I would think on my list would be overcoming trauma, healing that inner child. I mean, getting help, not, forgetting about the stigma and just like going out and seeking the help that you need. If you have a son, bringing your son to therapy. Don't be scared to take him and say that, it's okay for you to go through these things. It's okay to cry. It's okay for you to seek help. There's a lot of, villages behind you. So you're not alone.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good call out. Good call out. Looks like Mark may be back on, so let me see if he is. Oh no, he just left us again. Cece, curious to see if you have any thoughts about that. Oh, okay. All right. So some stats that I wanted to share with regards to Men's Health Month here, and just men's health and lifestyle overall. So as of 2023, according to the CDC.gov, 14.7% of men age 18 and older reported their health was fair or poor. 30.9% have had 5 or more alcoholic drinks in a single day at least once in the past year. Only 28.3% meet the actual guidelines for both aerobic and muscle strengthening physical activity. 39.2% of men aged 20 and older are classified as obese. Wow. And
Wow.
So leading causes of death. So let's see here. One in every. What were
I
you
was about
saying?
to say, like, checking the prostate. That's one.
Well, yep, you're right. And so here it says, and this is again stats from CDC and verywellhealth.com, 1 in every 5 men's deaths are actually associated with heart disease. Cancer deaths amongst men in 2023, 184 per 100,000 men. Accidents, which include unintentional injuries, 222,725 deaths. So that means 67 per 100,000 men. Strokes, 162,640 deaths. Again, this is all as of 2023 stats. So that means that 49 per 100,000 men. And you know what's interesting? I don't see anything. I mean, I guess prostate cancer would be dealt with cancer, so we can correlate that there. So yeah, it looks like 184 of 100,000 men died because of some form of cancer.
Colon cancer, is that on there? I mean, and those numbers would be minimized if they get the proper screening. Instead of, I know a lot of them are scared, or they're too prideful about getting themselves checked because I don't want nobody touching me and blah blah blah. But you have to know that this is your health.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, those are good call outs for sure.
Yeah, these numbers are staggering. I can definitely believe the heart disease because you look at, the face of America and we're overweight, right? We're sicker than ever. Pharmaceuticals run the company of big pharma. If doctors are not adhering to what big pharma is pushing out there, then of course they lose funding, and it's really, really awful. And so I can definitely believe and see the heart disease. And we know that the foods that we're consuming, they're not even food, right? It's a lot of microplastics that's even in our air, in our bodies. They said that it was on I forget where I read it, but they said that microplastics in our body is like the size of like a credit card. That's a lot for a human body, and this stuff is killing us because our bodies don't know what to do with it. It's a foreign, entity that the body's like, what is this? And it's killing us because this stuff is, connecting and harboring on our arteries and all these types of things. And so the heart disease, I can definitely believe it because we are a very sedentary nation. I've been all over the world, and I see people always, in some countries, not always, but in some countries where people, they take health seriously. They have real foods. They ban all these pesticides and things that's in the foods, all these chemicals and all these dyes that are killing us. And America just says, hey, we don't care. Just feed them anything, right? Just keep making money, and keep us sicker than ever. And so that's the mindset that's really kind of been here with the American society for quite some time. You can think back to, I look at shows and pictures of like family members and stuff of a time of when, in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and you didn't have a lot of obese people in America, right? You didn't. People had sit downs at the family tables, where they had a real meal, and a plate wasn't the size of a platter nowadays. Like our plates are now platter sizes. You see what I'm saying? And we feel obligated to like clean our plates. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a lot, and it's really sad with the numbers. And too, with the cancer and all the other diseases and healthcare, a lot of people, I'm not even sure who they took the stats from, but it'd be kind of interesting to see the kind of socioeconomic status of this all, to kind of see, was it in these underserved communities where people don't have money to go to doctors, and where also people don't trust doctors and things of that nature. So that would be kind of an interesting stat to kind of see, like, the people that they were actually pulling for it nowadays. And two, now with, technology being like right at our fingertips, people are more than likely, to go online to consult, some sort of AI to kind of figure out what's going on with them versus actually going to a real doctor. So, wow, that was great information. Yessie, that was really good. Those numbers were staggering. Wow.
And here's a little nugget that I don't know if anybody out there they're doing this, but when I was looking it up just now, it came up that for the people that owns barbershop, they could do like a barbershop boot camp, maybe like have a doctor come in and talk to the guys that are there getting their hair cut, or maybe have like a little fitness session in between, like 20 to 30 minutes outside, have like a little table set up, giving water, blood pressure check, all that stuff. That just popped up. So for all you guys out there that owns barbershop, this is your nugget. Go out and do that barbershop boot camp for all the men. It's Men's Health Month. Let's get it going.
I love that. That's genius. Good food for thought. So yes, good job.
One of the other things I wanted to bring up, Nadine, when you said that is because men think, oh, I'm a man, I'm strong, I don't need to go see the doctor. These kind of things. But, removing kind of like the stigma from it. I think men think if they, go and see a doctor for their health, it's like, I'm not a man. You know what I'm saying? So maybe there's some kind of bias there with that as well. That kind of needs to be looked at. But that whole barbershop, beauty shop thing, I've known people to do that. They're even in Atlanta. And it was very successful. So that is a way. Because typically when, you're going to your stylist and whatnot, that's a whole therapy session, right? In the salon.
Exactly. And even young boys are going to be there too. Young men going to be there. They could be learning some things there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good ideas. Yes. Looks like Mark may be back on. So I'm going to see if he's ready to join us. So give me just a quick moment. Let's see. Welcome back. Muted.
Now you are muted.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. I switched to my laptop. I don't know. As you guys were talking, everything cleared up all of a sudden. So I was like, well, should I switch or should I stay? And so I switched to my laptop. Yeah.
Great. We hear you loud and clear.
Oh,
yeah, loud and clear. That's much better, Mark. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
We do. Absolutely. And so I know Nadine's question, I'm curious to know because it was really staticky, so it was challenging for us to hear. Right. But it was definitely about your inspiration. I know your first dress was or your first design was for your wife, and so what was the occasion? Like, why did you want to design?
Annette, she's in a sorority, and they were having their line anniversary, and so part of that whole celebration, they were going to do a photo shoot, and they had a particular color scheme that they were going for. And so, again, it was getting close to the time, and Annette hadn't found the dress yet. And so I said, after watching so many YouTube videos on just how to make clothes, because again, I don't know if it was staticky at the point, but I was saying originally I wanted to make clothes for myself. And so I went to Joann's and I bought some fabric, and I again watched a few YouTube videos, and I made a dress for her. And I used a dress that she had and made a pattern from it, right? And so so I work from home, and so when she came home from work one day, I had finished it up, and I wanted her to try it on. So I mean, basically met her at the door. Like, hey, take all your clothes off. I want you to try this on, And so she tried it on, and she just lit up and was really excited about it. And it looked very good on her. And so as I tell everyone, my head, was about that big, and I just got hooked on the feeling, And so I every day I'm trying to make something else, and it just really started from there. Yeah, that's how I got started.
That's
That's
amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow, that's very impressive too. Growing up, did you see anyone in your family or a friend or anyone that sewed and did custom clothing? Or what really inspired you? Like usually
Well,
there's like a route for
right.
inspiration, right? Yeah.
Well, my grandmother had a sewing machine, and she sewed a little bit, but by the time I came along, I think she'd kind of, put up her needle and thread. But I guess during the time when, she was young and having children, people made their own clothes a lot, And so, but yeah, that old Singer sewing machine, the one with the foot pedal that step on, that was a piece of furniture, in the house, but I'd say, my mom and dad had a big portion of inspiration, and dad in the sense of his sense of style. He worked every day and he had wear a suit and tie. And I remember him going to, downtown. There really wasn't a mall, when I was a kid in Rocky Mount. And so, Main Street was that was the place to be. And so there was a men's store there called Epstein's, and it was a very nice. Just think of the most luxurious boutique or store. That's kind of how that store was, and he bought a lot of his stuff from there. And just a side note, one of his things was it's not necessarily all about how much something costs, but it's the quality of whatever it is, right? And then, a lot of times quality cost. So it ended up paying more, but stuff lasted a long time. Then my mother had such a sense of creativity. And so blending that example of style from my dad and then the creativity from my mother, I think is what, really kind of helped help me be what I am right now and doing what I'm doing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very, very impressive. Nadine or Titi, before I ask my other question, any other questions that?
Yes. So I read, you also styled somebody from Beyond the Gates. I'm curious because I'd like to know who you designed because I've been on that set several times, more than 3 times.
Oh, cool. Well, interesting story. So last year when I did LA Fashion Week, the show that I was a part of, she was the MC or the host of the show. And the producer of the show came to me and said, "Hey, do you have something she could wear for the show?" And I panicked for a brief moment, and I was like, "Yeah." And so she, when she put it on, oh gosh, she looked so good in it. And so since then, she and I have, been in close contact, periodically. And I'm a big fan of the family business. And so, we kind of go back and forth about that. And actually her last name is Mann, and that's my mother's maiden name. So I swear that we're cousins somewhere down the line. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then just being able to be a part of New York Fashion Week and LA Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Tell us more about how that all transpired.
Yeah. So New York, someone reached out to me, I would say in December of 2023, and asked me if I would be a part of High Tech Moda, is the producer of the show. And I think they are like one of the largest independent productions during New York Fashion Week. And so that was really big. And I accepted the invitation because at that time I had just created the Molly collection. And so I felt like I had something that, I was ready to show the world, and it was a very nice, cohesive collection. And so, and when we went there, we had a blast. I had the opportunity to meet so many people and kind of, peek behind the curtain to see how things go, up in the big city of New York, right? And then there is a gentleman named Paris Harris who I met in my very first fashion show here in North Carolina. But he lives in LA, and he invited me to come to a show the same year in March. And I told Paris, Paris, I just came from New York, man. I don't know if I can do it. And he convinced me to do it. So I came. And a little kind of fun fact about LA Fashion Week. It's kind of a misnomer because it's not just a week. It's basically the whole month of March. That's just how it is. But yeah, so it's the whole month of March, unlike New York and Paris and so forth, where, it is basically a week. And so, yeah. So that's how I got there. Yeah. Enjoyed it. Had a blast.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes. And I'm really glad that you seized the moment and took that opportunity, because, sometimes opportunities don't always come twice. And so you had the opportunity to change your mind. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let me check this out real quick and see what this is about. So that's awesome.
And sometimes they don't always come when you necessarily want it to come, right? Everything isn't always convenient. So sometimes you do have to make the sacrifice to make that step. And really just step out on faith, to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good call out. So with the trending changes, especially with fashion and style, what keeps you motivated and inspired?
Oh, gosh, what keeps me motivated? Being a creator, you always want to create something. And I think sometimes it's just as simple as that, right? There's this big debate about, in fashion and about fashion, that the way the machine is designed, you always have to create something. These, the big fashion houses, they're creating collections before they're finishing the last collection, and so you're having the show in February for the fall, and then you're having the show in the fall for the winter, and so or for the summer rather. Somehow I got that turned around a little bit, but still, I heard a lot of them talk about the pressure of trying to deliver.
We just lost him.
Oh yeah, he got disconnected.
He was, yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, while we get him back on, let's go back and focus on Men's Health Month. And it looks like he might be back.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, bring him back on. You there?
Yeah, I promise I paid my Spectrum bill. I promise you, I have no idea.
There it is.
That is so funny.
The internet is trying not to help me be great, but yeah, we're gonna move on anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you have such a deep story, a good story that was.
I know, right?
Nope, like psych enemy. Bye.
Yeah. But before it ends, again, to kind of wrap up, to answer your question, my inspiration, again, it's just I always want to create something, and I just get the joy of once it's finished, like, wow, I made this, right? And so so it could be selfish reasons, but when you have so much creativity, you have to get it out. And so I really think that is the driving force. And I don't necessarily worry about what's trending, because when I created the Gold Standard collection, all the pieces were gold. And now let me say this. At the time I created it, I just really like the fabric. I think it's beautiful, right? But I didn't know, it seems like after I created that collection, gold was everywhere. And I don't know if it's like, how when you buy a new car, all of a sudden you see that car everywhere. I don't know if it was that, But I have some people swear out that I started the trend. I don't know about that, but I was on trend. Let's just put it that way. So, the vibrations were there, and I jumped on it and and rode with it. Yeah.
That is awesome.
That's really awesome. Do you have like a staple color? I know like with Marc Jacobs and all that, or Michael Kors or whatever, they have like staple colors and stuff like that. Do you have like a staple, color?
Well, if you ask several people, they probably would say it's gold, because gold is what I initially started with the net dress. And again, because I like that fabric so much, and it seems like whatever I make in it just so pretty. But I really kind of don't. I do use a lot of black. I use a lot of white, and I use a lot of red. So maybe those are my staple colors. But I'm not beholden to them. So, but I do use it a lot. And
Okay.
you will see that next week. Yes.
So what
Yeah.
was the turning point where you say, okay, this is going to be a brand. This is what it's going to be. I'm going to be doing. I want to be a designer. Was it after
Right.
your wife's first dress, or was it further down the line?
Okay, so Annette probably pushed me a little bit before I was ready. At least that's my story, right? But after, again, I made that first dress, and then she came home, the next day, and I made another dress, and then I made something else, and I made something else. She was like, "Man, so people have to see what you're creating, right?" And so, unbeknownst to me, she's out searching fashion shows and stuff for me to be a part of, and she stumbled upon North Carolina Fashion Week, and it was right around the time that they were preparing to produce a show for their winter show. And so Annette reached out to Jennifer, and she responded, and Jennifer asked, for some samples of what I had created. And so Annette sent in pictures, and she loved it and said that, yes, she wanted me to be a part of it. And so at that point, I had only made like 3 pieces. And so now I had to, and so Jennifer's like, well, you need to at least have 8 pieces. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And so, I had like a month. I had no idea what I was doing. Right. And so, but I did it, and the show was so successful that it just kind of graduated into where I'm coming now. It just seemed like it was just the most natural thing to do. Yeah. So
Awesome.
That is awesome. Wow. Cece, I believe did you have a question for Mark before I asked mine? I thought I heard you start.
No,
speaking.
you're good. You're great.
Okay, and so you mentioned the colors, red, black, and green. So let's pivot over to your upcoming show, Red and Black on the Green, coming next week, Saturday, right?
Next Saturday, June 21st, from 7 to 9 p.m. Tickets are still available, and if you hadn't got your ticket, you can go to Eventbrite and search up Red and Black on the Green. And of course, wherever you're located, you'll have to search Raleigh or Cary. I think Durham. It should pop up in all 3 locations. So anywhere in the triangle. But yeah, so I had done several shows, or a handful of shows, and I told Annette, I said, man, I think I could do a show, and if I did it, I'd want to do this and I want to do that. And so I was debating about doing it in 2022. I couldn't find the location that I wanted. I just didn't find the right place, because I wanted to have it outside if possible. And so someone had mentioned the Museum of Life and Science in Durham, and they have a beautiful place outside. It's an outdoor tent right next to the Butterfly House, and so we had the show there, and it was very beautiful. They had a lot of greenery, and those big banana trees and things like that, and so and people even said after the show, when they saw pictures, like, where were you located? Like, were you in Durham? They were amazed that I was in Durham, because it looked like we were somewhere else. So so we did that 2023, and we repeated that again last year, and so we're preparing for this year. The name, the Red and Black on the Green, kind of helps tie in the cultural event of Juneteenth, because that's the, around the time that we're having it. This year, the 19th is on Thursday. So we're having a couple days after. Last year and the year before, we had it just before Juneteenth. Yeah. So
I love that concept. I love that correlation. Thank you for breaking that down for us. And to clarify, the location this year, is it still at the?
No. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I don't want to confuse anyone. So the event's going to be at the Courtyard by Marriott in Cary. The address, I believe, is 1008 Parkside. I think it says Main Street. But if you're in the Triangle area, it's in the same shopping center as the Raleigh Improv. So it's right off Highway 55. So it's fairly easy to get to, and it's very visible from the road, the hotel itself, the venue.
Okay. Awesome. Great. So definitely go and check that out. Eventbrite, as Mark shared with us, and it is red and black on the green, or I'm sure you can search under Mark Taylor and they'll anything with regard to that can pull up for you. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing you all next week, because I'm actually part of the show. So surprise. Hey, I'm one of the models. Hey.
Yep.
Yes,
I'm really looking forward to it.
Is the show going to be live, like we're streaming so we could watch it, or no? Or it's going to be shown later on?
Great question. That was an idea that I toyed with internally, but it will not be officially streamed live. But some people may be, streaming on their own accounts and so forth. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And that Mrs. Taylor said, yes. And then she did say earlier, I'm not sure if you saw, Mark, she says she loves them all. So everything that you've done designed for her, she loves them all.
So if you look at the little avatar, that dress I made for her. So I don't know.
Wait, what? I can't wait to see it.
Oh, yeah. We have to check it out after the show. Yes, absolutely. All right. So, we've had some amazing conversation here already. And so we're going to transition over in just a few minutes to the last minute words. Before I do that, Nadine or Cece, any questions that you have that you want to ask Mark?
Oh no, I don't have any other questions. Just congratulations, Mark, on your success, and wish you the best in the future. And hopefully I'll see some more of you and your fashion shows.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the same sentiments as Nadine's. Congratulations. You're doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work. So glad that you're giving back in the way that you do, and just hoping that your business is going to be a continued success.
Thank you. And congratulations to you on your...
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Big accomplishment.
Yes, I love this. See, this is what life is about. We get to celebrate each other, right?
Yep.
That's what we're here for, to positively motivate, enlighten, inspire, educate, and entertain you, the viewer and listener, with each and every episode. Cada episodio, and I know we did that today, just like I feel like we do every week. Come on now. If you haven't caught the past shows, I highly recommend checking them out, because we have so much food for thought. So much positivity there, because again, how we started the conversation earlier, there's a lot of negativity that's surrounding us. We want to be that beacon of light. We want to be the positive hope that you can listen to us and say, you know what, Nadine's right. You know what, Cece's right. You know what, yes, he's right. Mark is right. Whoever's our guest, we have positivity to share. We want you all to absorb that. Release that negative energy. Let it go by. Right? Release it. Woosa, woosa, woosa. Yes. Also, before I forget, before I transition over to last minute words, just a reminder, this is your mid-month check. I know we're not quite at the mid-month, but remember the last couple of episodes, we talked about the mental health spectrum, and I'm keeping you all honest. I'm keeping you all aligned, which is why I'm bringing this up again. So remember, 1 means you're healthy and you're thriving. 2, you're reacting and you're a little stressed out. 3 is like, ooh, you're struggling, mild or moderate mental health issues. And 4 means you're in critical condition and you need some mental health support. Why is this important? Every day of this month and going forward, please gauge your mental health. Mental health is important. I cannot stress that enough. And it's okay if you don't always feel like yourself. It's A-okay. but gauge how you're feeling one, two, three, or four. So when we conclude the show, please, please, please gauge yourself and please start doing that, taking this serious. This is life. We want to make sure you're good. I hope you want to make sure that you're good too, right? So, all right. So, with that in mind, let's pivot over to our last minute words. So, Mark, this is an opportunity for you to just share whatever it is that you want to share with the audience, whether reminding them how they can follow you, how they can find you, reminding them about the fashion show coming up, and anything coming up in general, and then whatever it is that we didn't have a chance to cover that you want to share. So,
Okay.
go for it.
Yeah, well, you can follow me on Instagram at Mark Taylor Designs with a Z on the end. And same thing on Facebook. Um, and you can go to my website at MTD Fashion to check out maybe some styles that we have there. Now, I have a new swim line that I'm going to be dropping next week in the show. I'm putting out some hints on social media. So I'm really excited about that. Just a couple of weeks ago, we went to the Dominican Republic and did a photo shoot for that. So we had a great time. And listen, man, if you're in the area, I would love for you to come to the show. We have a great time. And I am a firm believer of entertaining you, but also being respectful of your time. So we won't keep you all night. Go to Eventbrite and look up the Red and Black on the Green fashion show, or even if you just type the Red and Black, stuff will start popping up, and you'll see that there. Tickets are still available. They are moving though. I'm getting alerts, multiple times a day that the tickets have been sold. So they're still available. And man, we got some great designers coming, and the model lineup, oh gosh, the model lineup is just is phenomenal. Man, New York don't have anything on this show this year. I'm telling you. Yeah. So yeah. That's it. I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Nadine, did you want to go next?
Yes, yes, yes. So what I want to say is, since this is the men's health month, we're gonna flip it around and we're gonna say we want to create healthy men, right? So make sure you're doing your due diligence, going to get checked and start from the kiddos, helping the kids, take them to therapy if needed, and just make sure that you know that your health is paramount. Just forget the stigma, forget the naysayers, and make sure that you go get your prostate check. Make sure you check for any trauma, get your therapy, and overcoming anything you have going on, especially for veterans as well. Make sure that you take that step and going to seek help as well. And as for me, well, you just needed the question, or you want me to say my ending piece as well?
Last minute words. It looks like we lost Cece. I'm not sure
Oh
what may
yeah,
have
she's dropped off. Yeah,
happened. Yeah.
yeah, so,
Oh, there she is.
yeah, she's back. Yeah, so what I was saying is make sure that you do your due diligence and go get checked out, and let's create healthy men for not just for Men's Health Month, but moving forward. I know I lost my oldest brother last year or the year before for prostate cancer. So that's very important to me to make sure that we are getting checked and we are making sure that these things are preventable before it is too late. So get your health checked, guys, and wives, sisters, brothers, push each other to push your husbands, your brothers to go get checked before it's too late.
Thank you so much, Nadine. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your brother, and I echo your words. Let's push our men, and men, let's push our women. I mean, there's women out there that are similar. They're like, I don't want to go to the doctor. Let's push each other, like Nadine mentioned. So I echo your words. Nadine, I'm not sure. Did you have a chance to share how people can find you, follow you, etc.?
Yes, 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 absolutely. So as you know, I'm Nadine Barton, the author. You could find me on Instagram, Nadia B _1202. And also, I'm a Navy veteran, entrepreneur, travel agent. And you could find me also on Facebook, as it is. My name is up there, NADEAN BARTON. And also on my website, NadineBarton.com, where you could go and look and find all my books And you could find my latest book, my children's book, Love Travels in Uniform, and a latest one, I Am Easy to Love, You Just Don't Know Me. Check it out on my website, NadineBarton.com. And as I always say, life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you react. So treat each other right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Cece, last minute words and where people can find you.
Yes, absolutely. So, hey, you guys know me, Sandra, the Actions with Inspire for Purpose, and you can find me there at inspireforpurpose.com. There we want to equip, empower, and execute to help you achieve your accomplishments or actually your mission and your vision in life, right? So that will be an accomplishment, right? As always, as I like to say on my channel, love and inspire for purpose.
Thank you so much. Yes. And as for me, I have a little bit of everything going on. So first, before I share my last minute words, I want to give a big shout out to you all, viewers and listeners, for tuning in today. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias por su apoyo, por su amor, por lo que hacen por nosotros. You know, you're supporting us, we're supporting you. Hey, this is how it works. It's a two-way street, right? Also, with that in mind, shout out to the sponsors. So shout out to Collective Wear, shout out to Divine Beauty and Accessories, shout out to Nadine's Travel Oasis, and shout out to my co-hosts, because hey, they helped me make this happen for you all. This is what teamwork is all about. So yes, and shout out to Mark for being our special guest today and just allowing us to have a glimpse into his world as a designer. Like, that's amazing. And so I'm going to take a couple of seconds, or about a minute or so, to share some commercials here for our sponsors. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Hoy en Día TV, Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yessierodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places.
All right, and for those who want to be sponsors on Hoy en Día TV, or if you want to be a guest on Hoy en Día TV, simply email hoyendiatv@gmail.com. We welcome you with open arms. That is what we're here for, right? All right, and with that in mind, also, for those, just a reminder, please go check out Red and Black on the Green Eventbrite page. Get those tickets. We hope to see you there next week, Saturday. Looks like the time is from 7 to 9 p.m. in Cary. Also, model casting call coming to, actually this is going to be in Florida, but I am going to be one of the designers for this show in the fall. So model casting call, visit the Antoine Wright page for more information, but that is happening Saturday, July 12th. Also, you can send me a message directly on Facebook if you want some more information with regards to that. So just a heads up. Also, for those who haven't had a chance to check out Kill No One Part 1 is a horror comedy. Shout out to Raw One. I'm one of the stars in there. A bunch of other amazing talent. So we actually filmed Part 2 this past weekend. That one's coming out soon, but I highly encourage you, check out Part 1. You're going to laugh. Like, if you need a really, really good laugh, you're going to enjoy that one for sure. And so, yes, for those who want to know more about me, follow me, find me. Simple and easy. Just go on Google or Safari or Internet Explorer, whichever your favorite browser is, and just type in Yessie Rodriguez, and everything about me will pull up. My social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, my website, yessierodriguez.com. I also do acting classes and coaching. So for those who want to get serious in the acting industry, reach out to me. There's actually going to be, I'm putting together a acting workshop. So stay tuned for those details, and I'll be sharing those very, very soon for you. And for closing, so as a reminder, like I always say, please stop saying the sky is the limit, because the sky is not the limit. And the reason why is because you're technically setting yourself a boundary, which is called the Kármán line, which is 62 miles above the sea level. And that's actually the Earth's atmosphere, where it separates from that sea level to outer space. So just food for thought there. So stop saying the sky's the limit and start saying this quote instead. I created this back in 2011 when I realized what was happening here. The sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. So thank you all for tuning into another episode of Hoy en Día TV. Until next time.